What's up, guys? So, I owe you guys an apology for last night. I was supposed to stay going live, decided not to. That storm took a lot out of me. So, yeah, we're doing it like this. So, basically, I'm cooking up some steak. We got some vegetables I'll be making up. It's going to be some good stuff. And I figure we talk about some of the events that have taken place recently. Hopefully, you guys get this notification. If not, totally cool. You guys can check this out later. So for now, I'll just talk about some things that have been on my mind. One, I've been wanting to do a Cult of Chucky review. So here's my review. It fucking sucked. That was not what I had hoped for a movie. I had higher hopes. Basically, it was Chucky in a bunch of different bodies. So then I asked myself, like, there's a little bit of a plot hole as far as that goes, which is, why didn't he just do that in the first place? You know what I mean? Like, why didn't you just do that in like one of the other 5-6 fucking movies? So that was one of my issues with that. There's a lot of plot holes in a lot of movies. That was one that I found to be very difficult. And he was able to possess people like real quick. And I know that was like the big thing in like the other movies. He wasn't able to possess people, even though he was trying. So yeah, I'm gonna turn the fan on here. That's light. There we go. Try and make it so that way you guys can still hear me. But my trick when it comes to cooking steak, no oil, just right on the fucking grill pan. So that's what I'm doing right now. But yeah, I mean, if you look back at like Child's Play 3 and shit like that, it was actually very difficult for him to possess people. But in this movie, he was able to do it like with dolls and people and shit. Like, I'm like, how come you couldn't fucking do that to Andy, man? Like, that's pretty fucked. But anyway, yeah, that's basically my review, is that it was absolute fucking garbage. Also, my trick with steak here is high heat. Like, I mean, you just stick it with high heat, right? You get it nice and brown, where you get like that little bit of a tan line, so to speak, and then you grab it like this, boom, and then you've got the starting for where you want your grill marks, and then you crisscross them, and it looks fucking gorgeous. So basically, just tan it, high heat on both sides, and then you fucking let it simmer on like a lower heat. It's fucking delicious. Same, I have it well cooked without oil. Yeah, the hotter the better. Oh yeah, for sure, man. What I do is I basically, what I call shock the meat. And then I fucking grill this up. And let it simmer and shit like that. And just let it like, basically roast in its own oils. And this steak is cooking real fucking quick. I mean, I got on like the highest heat fucking possible right now. It looks fucking delicious. So, aces, we got this. I love cooking meat. For the longest time, actually, and this pissed off my girl. Saying I have it well cooked with oil, the hotter the better. It's to seal the juice in. Oh yeah, dude, for sure. Like that's because steak cooks after it's like off the stove. It cooks itself, you know. Oh, was that the real Joe Wiggles? What's up, dude? Hey man, I liked your comment, by the way. I don't know if you saw that on Child's Place thing today, which I caught a glimpse of. I don't know, like it. Here's my thing, and I talked about this a lot with Blunt Atheist. Go check out that podcast, guys. Go to Blunt Atheist and the Comatose podcast. You'll see a lot of what I've been saying off of this channel and off of CPN and Chuck Reeves thing. So basically, what I figured out is that when Abominations came out, that album sold. After that year, I think albums were like releasing on iTunes and shit like that. And then it became a lot harder for people to want to buy the music, especially when you're getting like 4 different colored CDs and it's essentially all the same. Money is made through merchandise. So there's that. Oh yeah, those grill marks are fucking beautiful. Now it's gonna crisscross them a little bit. It's gonna be beautiful. And then simmer it down. Like, she's already fucking cooking. But yeah, that's basically what I think, is that if you're going to support your music artists, like, they got to make a living too. You know, it's not like they're going to Burger King when they're not on tour. That's what they fucking do, is they go and make money for us, from us, and it's mutual. Concerts, shows, tours, that shit doesn't pay for itself. And you can't just fucking bet on ticket selling and whatnot. You know what I mean? Like, so to have that in mind, I think that's where people really need to really focus, is that it's not just Twisted. Whitney Payton does it. Look at Buckshot and all the dope shit he's selling. I mean, it's fucking amazing. Rob Zombie, same fucking deal. Like, I don't know what to tell you guys. As far as, like, merchandise, that's how you'll make most of your revenue. And you make more profit off it. So if you're selling pendants like I was, you know, exactly, they're just trying to make a living. Oh, dude, Thor fucking shirt. Like, that's what I've been saying. And it bothers me that people are like, oh, they're money hungry. No, dude, they're trying to fucking survive. And just because they're making a fucking profit doesn't mean jack shit. Like I said, Whitney Payton does it. When I was selling pendants, right, I was selling them at like 35, 40, 50 bucks, but I was also paying out the ass like 20, 22, 23 because I wasn't buying in bulk because I had all these different designs that I wanted to release for a limited time. Matter of fact, if you watch my older videos, you'll see my Abominations pendants. And the story behind the Abominations pendants was I saw the album and thought that would make for a dope pendant. And I actually, before I went to my charm maker, I went to Southern Hatchets or whatever that dude's name is. And I asked him to do it, and I asked him how much it cost. He gave me his price, and I was like, okay, like, I'll consider it. Let me shop around a little bit more. And then he turned right around and started making those pendants. So the truth is, and I've got all the paperwork and all the fucking emails somewhere, that I was the first person to come up with the idea for the Abominations pendants, and the first people to receive them of mine was, in fact, Jamie Madrox, myself, and some fucking fan that had decided to steal it when I was trying to get it to Monoxide Shell. So Jamie Madrox actually got the first one that was ever made. So that was cool. And the reason why I ended up getting two of them is I only ordered the one, but because the shipping took so long, my charm maker threw me in a free one for my patients. So now we're going to lower the cooking on this, lower the temperature to almost nil at this point, because fuck yes. Yeah, that's good right there. Just keep babying it. Kiss was the first to really know what merch did. Oh, dude, they were selling fucking, what, Kiss condoms? I don't know if you guys remember that, but Kiss was selling condoms. Kiss was selling all sorts of shit. And they're still doing that to this day, if you think about it. Like, even Gene Simmons, I don't know if you guys heard this story, but he's actually trying to get a trademark license on the devil horns. No joke. This is now a fucking Gene Simmons thing. And I can imagine Kiss isn't making money like they used to, but they're also not making music and tours like they used to. You know who else is kind of like, oh, guys, stop for a second. I got to show you this. All right, you ready? I don't know if you guys can see those bro marks. See how they're crisscrossed like that? Dude, I'm a fucking aces cook, dude. Like, so, anyways, back to what I was saying about the whole Kiss thing. Like, a bunch of music artists capitalize on merchandise. That's, like, their go-to. Dio be rolling in his grave. And if you notice on Instagram, at least Twisted M&E are on... Oh, shit, that message went away. How do I bring this up? Okay. Show. Here we go. And if you notice on Instagram, at least Twisted M&E are on there posting random stuff every day. It's been over a week since I've seen any post from my Sphere Psychopathic. And when they do post, it's just a tour flyer. Now, who is doing more for the fam? So here's my bit, okay? When I was 18 years old and excited for Hollow Wicked, I saw the original lineup. Boondocks was scheduled to be there, and I'm not a Boondocks fan. For the record, I'm not a Boondocks fan. Wasn't then either. And he got replaced by Mars. And that was actually my first witness to Mars and his music. And I bought those tickets. Those tickets went on sale in August, okay? They were on sale in the last week of August, and I bought mine about mid-September. So, yeah, that's the story behind all that. And there was actual hype behind it. They do M&E always posting on Twitter. Dude, M&E, and they do a good job at fucking retweeting. Like, the king of it, though, King Morty, man. Like, you tweet that guy, you reply to him, 9 times out of 10, he'll fucking retweet you, reply to you and shit. Like, that's the thing. They don't treat us as, like, a fan base, but as individuals. And I noticed that that's M&E's fucking marketing, and I love it. And the thing is, and I said this on the podcast, the Juggalos were the ones that introduced me to Magic Ninja Entertainment, because I was just curious seeing what Child's Play Ninja had been up to, and that's what I had seen, was that. So I saw M&E, and Gorilla Voltage and shit. And I was like, oh, fuck yes. May I have some more? Oh, man, I wish you guys could try my cooking. It's fucking delicious. I don't Twitter or Facebook, just Instagram. But yeah, M&E is always posting stuff. I love it. Oh, dude, I love what they do. And I love the fact that they let their artists do whatever the fuck they want. Like, what's Gorilla Voltage doing right now? They're probably doing their own fucking concerts and tours. They're probably doing a bunch of shit, selling their own merchandise and whatnot. We don't even know how artists get signed to M&E. I remember when I was working for Mars, I got the inside on like Mad Insanity Records when, what's his name? Daniel Jordan. When, I don't know if you guys know who he is, but he's also a, one of Esham's guys. They're in the studio seeing the post this morning. I'm sure they are. But the thing is, I don't feel like there's a stranglehold on what the artists are doing. Like, psychopathic artists, I mean, Twisted, you gotta think, they know the inside and out on what was done to them. Do you really think they want to do the same thing to their music artists? Like, that's what fucks with me. Like, people shit on Twisted for not going to the march. And there's still that little bit of a thing, but then there's people who are like, well, if they just showed up at Hollow Wicked, or if they got back together, I would forgive them. So you admit that it was the issue of them leaving. It wasn't just the march. You were pissed off beforehand. That was just the straw that broke the camel's back. Got it. Okay. All right. Now I'm just going to let her cook on here. Oh, man, guys. This steak looks fucking brutal. When I cut this bitch open, she's going to be gushing blood all over the fucking place. It's going to be beautiful. I can't wait. So what I was saying about the whole cooking thing is for like 2 years, my girl was the one that was doing the cooking. And I was just like, yeah, no, thanks. Like, I don't cook. And then she went vegan, so I got stuck cooking on my own. So that's where that came from. And yeah, I love cooking fucking red meat. I love it. Gonna let this simmer now. Take it off the burner. Fuck yeah. So I've got the vegetables. I use just the steam bag ones. Frozen carrots, like one of my favorite things. I love frozen carrots. Yeah, my little lady cooks for me and she does an awesome job. You gotta find a woman that cooks, dude. You gotta find a woman that cooks. Like, that's one of the things that I learned from the family that I grew up in. I grew up in very polar opposite. My dad was the guy who was... Let's start with this. My mom was the person who's like, don't touch this. It'll burn you, kill you, maim you, eat you, poison you. It'll do all these really bad things. My dad, he says, you see that gardening snake over there? He goes, pick it up by its tail. I'm like, okay, so I picked it up by its tail. Thing lunges up, fucking bites my arm. And then my dad goes, see, that's why you don't pick it up by the tail. I'm like, well, why didn't you fucking just tell me that in the first place? He goes, because I figured this would be a reminder for that. So that was my dad. My dad was the kind of guy that was like, yeah, I'm going to show you how to, like, fucking take a buzzsaw with a piece of wood to your leg and fucking use your leg as a fucking table for the wood. I'm like, Jesus. Like, my dad, though, brilliant man. And it pisses my mom off every time I say that. Which I also want to talk about in this a little bit, about my family. My mom and I, we get along just fine. There's been no qualms or anything. When I came back to Michigan and then we parted ways, it wasn't necessarily on the best of terms, but it was better than the terms that I had left when I was 18, 19 years old. James Coffin, what's good, dude? I'm alive, man. I'm alive. I appreciate your fucking concern last night. My ex couldn't cook for shit. I've always known how to cook. My mom was a good teacher. Kudos, fucking Inquisitor. Like, I feel like that we learn a lot of things from our parents have a job to do. Dad has to raise you how to have fucking testicular fortitude and be a fucking man. Your mom is there to teach you the fucking shit that you might need to know when there's not a woman in your life, and you got to take care of that shit. Like, that's how I feel like the job of a parent is supposed to do on both ends. Hell yeah, bro. Glad you're all right. Oh, dude, I was fucking petrified though. So, I went to bed last night, fucking waking up like every 45 minutes to an hour, just fucking waking up like I could hear that alarm that came from my phone. So I talked to other people today when I was out and about and doing my thing, and they said there was actually a touchdown in two places. I heard Cohocton and Fowlerville. So, did you get any damage? No, the only thing that I actually saw today when I was out walking was a branch only about like this fucking big that hit snap. So we didn't even really get the worst of it. Some other town did. Thank fuck for that. It turns out there was no injuries or anything. People are okay. But I talked to some friends out in New Hampshire, told them I was okay. Some people saw my live stream from last night, and they were worried. You know, I mean, fuck, I was curled up in a fucking ball in the bathroom, so I wouldn't have shit falling on me. So, aces on that. But that fucking tornado, man, like, there's two things that I'm afraid of in this world. Fucking driving down a freeway and tornadoes. Like, earthquakes, I can deal with earthquakes, no problem. But other fucking things like that, where both are unpredictable, you don't know, like, you've got 6 million people on a freeway, you have no idea if one of them's fucking drunk or what. Speaking of drunk, I'm not sure if I'm able to show this, I'm not monetizing this video anyways, fuck it. I've tried the entire series of these. This is the Jim Beam series. They've got Rye Prohibition, double barreled, and double aged. So they're 3 different ones, and this one is fucking rye. So that shit is scary. Tornadoes, man, dude, they're fucking unpredictable. You know? And I thought it was interesting. I was talking to, again, Blunt Atheist yesterday. Again, go check out that channel, guys, and see some of the shit that we've talked about. I told him, I was like, man, I should have been a meteorologist, because those clouds up there are a bad sign. Like, the winds were fucking ripping, and then there's clouds here, and then there's clouds above them, and they're both moving kind of like this. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure it's a bad sign. Of course, fucking 9:40 last night, I find out that it was no bueno. So, fuck me dead. I was a little concerned for my safety and well-being. Speaking of which, but yeah. Oh, guys, I know you guys probably do like the whole like whiskey and Coke thing, but I want to show you guys something that I learned in California from my buddy Mark, who was essentially like my best friend at the time, and my counselor is what I call him. So there's a drink that I have learned. It's, you guys are probably familiar with 7 and 7, but this is what I do. I let that sit for about 2 minutes, let it cool off. Take a little splash of that. I'd say about 2.5 fingers worth. Just kind of like that, right? And then what you do is take some 7 Up. Alright, hopefully this isn't, let's make sure this isn't flat. She's good. Not as carbonated as I'd like it, because the alcohol will kill some of the carbonation. So, we're playing bartender and chef here. It's awesome. There's some tornadoes action in Colorado about 12 to 14 years ago. No harm, just a crazy new experience. Life is all about experiences, brother. Yeah, the liquor definitely killed the carbonation in that. So it's a little strong. But you see how it kind of looks like a light beer? Like a really, like, to you guys it looks like water, but on mine it's like caramelized coloring. So you basically just take some of the, like, you don't want it like a dark, but like this rye here is good with 7 Up, and the citrus definitely helps, and carbonation is even better. So also, guys, the Bagel Lovers podcast today, they talked a little bit about Lars. I managed to catch a little bit of that, so definitely go check that out. Lars is fucking phenomenal, man. Matter of fact, there's a lot of elderly people and shit that had seen my tattoo, and they're like, where'd you come up with the idea for that? And I'm like, I didn't. It was from these guys that I listen to. You ever see Green Sky? Very bad shit is about to happen. Only time I saw it was right before the only tornado I'd experienced, but it didn't hit me. Yeah, I was also told that fucking green skies is a bad sign. So avoid green skies. Like, I was looking at the sky today, man. Like, it was fucking, where I was walking back, it was the sunset, and then up ahead was just fucking darkness, and I thought it's just because it's nightfall. No, it turns out there's more clouds coming in, but the winds aren't bad, so I'm not too concerned. Yeah, I'm going to Fright Fest, bro. I got my tickets. Matter of fact, last night, I was going to show you guys this. I was in the bathroom with my studded vest and my concert tickets, because best believe if I'm dying, those tickets are going with me. Like, fuck that shit. Yeah, I was going to make sure that they went with me. But that's a plan. I've already got the hotel booked. We're staying at the Motor City Casino. So we're excited about that. I've never stayed in such a nice place, but I mean, the fucking shit that you guys do for me, like, again, it goes right back to what Twisted and all them are doing. Like, you guys buying my books and shit. You guys tuning into my channel. You guys fucking supporting me and shit. I'm able to go and experience this cool shit, and in return, I'm going to take fucking video footage and all this. I mean, fuck, you guys practically paid for my fucking tattoo. Look how fucking dope that is. You know what I mean? Like, you guys have been a fucking huge help, and I give you guys credit for that every fucking day. You know? Like, fucking, I don't know what I'd do without you guys. Granted, I'm not selling merchandise or anything like I should be, but I'm an author, you know what I mean? You know, it's like, you're getting exactly what I want you to have is my skills and shit. And that's dope. I can't wait for that Lars mixtape. That Tad is the shit. Dude, I appreciate the both of you. What I'm really excited for is getting the mixtape at that show. Like, that's what I'm excited for. Like, holy fucking nutsack. It's going to be a beautiful show. I'm fucking excited. Let's see how this turned out. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm still here. Ooh. Beautiful white plate. Take that steak off. Oh, yeah. Oh, she's just like fucking mending in those juices. Fuck yes. She's still fucking simmering. Oh yeah, Mars Glaucoma is out now, $10 plus shipping and handling from Force 5 Records. Okay. I want to check out Glaucoma. Can anyone answer me though? What happened to Mad Insanity Records? Because I know that was some shit that Mars was running. I mean, I used to fucking work for the guy. Which I got pictures of still and shit. I mean, I still even got some of the reviews that I wrote on the website. You guys are curious? Wish it could go. Money sucks for me. Yeah, dude, fucking... Right now, man, 2017 is not a beaming year as far as finances go. You know, mainly, especially when you're trying to find work. And depending on where you're at in a fucking small, boony town, like, it's hard. You know, you gotta find a skill and try and do it from home. Yeah, so Kung Fu Vampire actually did an interview with Fago Lovers after the Mighty Death Pop, and they asked him if he was ever going to sign to Psy, and he said, no, I'm signed with Mad Insanity Records, which I did not know until after the concert, obviously. And, yeah, so that's how I even found out, like, Mad Insanity Records was, like, still going strong. And then Mars and I started talking shortly after that show, and it was some good shit, man. It was some good fucking shit. I was loving it. Mars, as much as him and I might have parted ways on bad terms, whatever, if any terms at all, then, I mean, it's whatever. Like, the dude's got fucking talent. I mean, it's one of the reasons why I decided to work with him. Like, I don't work for just anybody. And it was an honor to actually review Prozac's album, whom will also be at the Fright Fest, I am told. Thank God for small favors. Moonshine Bandits will not be there. So that is a plus. I can't stand those guys. I saw them at Mighty Death Pop, and I would not even want to go over and speak to them because I'm just not that much of a fan. Which is fine. I paid money to go and promote my pendants. Kung Fu is dope and all this stuff. He hooked up M&E with Gorilla Voltage. Oh, dude, fucking, that was a great decision. I saw him in that music video that everyone was shitting on. I mean, I even criticized it a little bit. I mean, but you gotta think it was more of like the fault of like the director and whatnot. But again, it was their first music video. I'm pretty sure they've got little to no funding on it if they had to do it out of pocket. But it's not like M&E had to go and oversee it or anything, which I think is a huge point to add on to that. Have Lars said anything more about the video? Yeah, so basically Chuck Reeves was right. Their camera got stolen. They're doing a reshoot in Detroit Tuesday. I unfortunately found out that I wouldn't be able to make it, but I'm still going to Fright Fest, so yeah. Yep. Yeah, Joe Wiggles is right. It is getting reshot on Tuesday. I thought it was Wednesday, but I mean, miscommunication all around. I'm just trying to lather this in some butter because I still got chunks of it that just aren't fucking melting for some reason. Jesus Christ. But, yeah. Fucking, what the fuck. I think that Gorilla Voltage, Lars, is like a prime example on how open M&E is to talent. So is there a release date? The video's supposed to come out Friday, which I think is a good thing. With it being, again, Halloween and it being October, and these guys aren't fucking pulling any fucking stops either. They're not pulling punches. Like, they're going to do the fucking video. It's going to be dope as fuck. And if you guys actually check out I think it was their Instagram. It was their Instagram or Twitter. And there's actually a post from Bizarre bumping one of the new Lars songs. You get like 15, 20 seconds of that. I missed that last comment. What was that? Bigger and better than before. Lars bitch suck a dick. Fuck yes. Well, what I feel like is that Magic Ninja knew what they were doing when they wanted, because they did the whole let's not have history repeat itself, right? Which I think is extremely important. Because they did not want to become what they once were or what they had once been treated, Like, that's just no bueno. Galactic Federation of Light. What's up, man? I don't think I've seen you on my channel. Your name doesn't ring a bell, and for that, I sincerely apologize. But, thank you guys for fucking tuning in. I was thinking this is going to be more of like a me talking to myself kind of. You guys fucking showed up. Damn. Like, I'm subscribed. Dude, thank you for subscribing to my channel. Unfortunately, I'm not like that one guy that does fucking dabs or anything. What the fuck's his name? He does all those, like, wrestling reactions and what have you. But, I actually subscribed to his channel simply because I want to watch SummerSlam. What's up? Thormat? What's up? What's good, dude? How's everybody doing tonight? Damn, you guys really fucking came out of the woodwork. Jesus, there's some people on here that I've never seen before. That's fucking amazing. Like, awesome, guys. A cheers to you guys. Jeez. But, like I was saying, when it comes to, like, Magic Ninja Entertainment and all that, now, I want you guys' approval on how fucking red this shit is. Because it's still fucking tender. Oh, she's bleeding when I cut it. Oh, that's beautiful. I don't know what you guys think. Let's get a second opinion here. I'm sorry. Let's get 6 other opinions here. Now, this is, I think, top sirloin. And so it's a little gritty if you cook it wrong. But, without getting it on my phone here. Is that a good angle for it? It's about as good as it's going to get. Fucking, it looks a lot more red in person. Fucking. Oh, hell yeah. No pepper. No nothing. I do need the A1 steak sauce, though, just because it's that fucking important. But hell yeah. That's good shit. Fucking excited about that. That's not A1. Ah. There it is. Boston accent. When I drink, my New England accent comes out. Not Boston, I'm New Hampshire. Same, I guess. Oh, man. Oh, fuck yes. Just that little bit goes a long way. But, yeah, you guys missed it. We were talking a little bit about my bourbon here, my Jim Beam Rye. It's a 5th. $25. What part of New England you from there? Galactic Federation of Light. That's a badass name the more I think about it. It's pretty fucking cool. Oh, you're from Mass. What parts? How far away from the Palladium are you? Damn, Daniel. So you might have been at the Mighty Death Pop show back in, what was it, 2014, 2013? Yeah, it's not as red as I would have liked it. I think I slightly overcooked it, but there's still blood from it. But the vegetables don't need much of a review. They're frozen. You take care, Joe Wiggles, and stay safe. I live at the Palladium, bro. Yeah, dude. My buddy Joey, who I was talking to years and years back, who introduced me to King Gordy. We all went to the Palladium together. Matter of fact, I bought all their tickets. If it bleeds, it's still good. Oh, man, fuck yeah. It's still bleeding. Like, I press on. She's still got blood coming out of her. It's good shit. Now to have some vegetables. You gotta have vegetables with your meat. It's not bad. I mean, there's no marijuana in my food, but I think it's still good. Murder mitten steak. Dude, this stuff is fucking, oh, so good. Like, I know how to pick up a steak, too. Like, you don't need that real expensive shit. You just gotta know how to cook it right. So, like with this one, she's still bleeding. She's got that red stripe going all the way through her. Like, she's red, not pink. It's good stuff, and still bleeding from the surface. Dip it in that blood there. By the way, guys, while we're eating meat, having some veggies, having some booze, I want to talk to you guys about something real quick. And you heard it from me, who heard it from Vegan Cheetah. Him and Cunt Face, whoever the fuck she is, broke up. And he broke and ate a cheeseburger. So the Messiah for the vegans turned. Yeah, I mean, King Gordy, man, he's got some original flavor. Like, you gotta like, you either really like him or you really hate him. Like, I don't really think there's like an in-between, which is fine. But anyway, this is the same guy that said he took a bite out of a tuna sandwich for basically money, but he wouldn't eat it because he was afraid of what it would do to his stomach. And this dude went to McDonald's and had a burger. No joke, McDonald's. Like, if you're vegan for even just a year and you put McDonald's in your stomach, you have any idea what that's going to do to you? I mean, granted, I eat fucking McDonald's like it's going out of style. But I also try and balance my diet a little bit. I don't work out, nothing. And you wouldn't know it by looking at me. And I've said this in a couple of my other older videos. I eat like a fat kid. No lie. And I love food and I love chowing down. See, that's what I'm thinking. So, if you come from a family who's eaten meat for generations upon generations, or you've eaten a certain way for generations upon generations, and you try and fuck with that, like, you're also fucking with genetics, right? Does that make sense to everybody? Like, if you've been a cow farmer and everyone in your family's eating meat, suddenly you become vegan. Like, you gotta think, that's also in your genes and things like that. We were animals meant to eat meat. Dude, I fucking agree, but the vegans are like, no, we were supposed to be herbivores. I'm like, tell that to the cavemen. Apparently they didn't get the memo. They also didn't have Facebook or Twitter either, so. Alright guys, so one more time. And again, Jim Beam's not paying me for this. Otherwise, we would be talking on like a fucking flat screen TV. And at least one of you guys would have had a paid ticket to come here and chill with me. But Jim Beam Rye pre-prohibition. It's really fucking good. I want to see that last message. Me too, eating like a fat kid, but I have such a high metabolism and I grow on a fucking dairy farm. Dude, that's the thing, like, where does a fast metabolism come from? They used to link a fast metabolism with ADHD. Where does it come from? How do you get it? Are you just born out of luck with it? Really now, like, think about it long and hard, like, where do you get your metabolism? Could it be your fucking habits? Is it genetics? Well, if you head up to Ann Arbor, you're driving past where I'm at, bro. I'm on, depending on which direction you're coming from, I'm in the segue between Detroit and Lansing. I'm 45 minutes from Lansing, an hour from Detroit, or 45 minutes from Lansing, 55 minutes from Detroit. So I'm like in the in-between. Well, if you read the book Anger is an Energy, you gotta think, if you're pissed and you're using your brain, you're sweating, all this shit, you're working out, like, it's what you do when you're angry. If you're angry and you eat like a fucking 2 gallons of ice cream, probably not good for you. But when you're angry, you don't really feel like eating. Damn, how the hell? You guys are the fucking shit. Damn. I wasn't expecting this live stream to go this well. I really wasn't. Fucking, damn, you guys are the best. But fuck yeah, if you guys are that fucking close, right? What I propose is that we all try and fucking find a way. We go to a fucking pub someplace. We all buy some fucking drinks. And then we come back to my fucking place. We all have some beverages. We chill out and do a fucking live stream. Like, why the fuck not? If we're all living within the same fucking radius, no excuse why we couldn't, right? If I'm feeling really generous and I'm not too drunk, I'll fucking cook for you guys. Like, Jesus Christ. I don't have a boat, Inquisitor. I am so sorry. But like I said, man, I really hope you are able to go to like Astronomicon or something like that one of these days, man. Inquisitor, I also want to tell you, my girl is a huge fan of yours, man. Your videos on Instagram cracked us both up. Like, keep posting that shit, dude. We fucking love it. My girl she's a huge fan, dude. Like, not gonna lie, sometimes I might get a little jealous thinking maybe we shouldn't fly over to go see Inquisitor, the two of us. It's all love, man. It's all love. But, dude, straight up, she's a huge fan. Just keep doing your thing, brother. We are all appreciative of what everybody does. I mean, my girl's not a fan of, I'll be completely honest. What's up, Red Hood Gaming? Dude, James, as it was put to me, it's the fucking internet, right? Like, on my channel, there is no moderator. There is no any of that shit. It's me, and if I decide to go live, which I decided to go live, and I honestly didn't expect this kind of a response, but yeah, no, it's all good, brother. Like, there's no hostility coming from either one of us. And if there was, I'm not gonna block you guys. Worst case, I might ignore it, and that's it. You know what I mean? Fucking bygones be bygones, brother. Jesus, how much have I had to drink? No, dude. What I do is I write for a living. I take up maybe some sort of side project, like help a buddy out, repair shit, things like that. You know what I mean? But I'm no different than you guys. You know, you guys have actually probably been like 90% of where my profit has come from purchasing my books and shit like that. And I'm appreciative. Like, that's fucking dope. Which is why I play with different genres. I'm going to Fright Fest, brother. Listening to Five Finger Death Punch. Dude, fuck yes. House of the Rising Sun. Best track from them ever. Fucking love it. But I actually got tickets to Fright Fest before I knew they were even doing Most Tasteless. Tickets for Fright Fest went on sale before they even announced it. That's a true story. Matter of fact, I wouldn't even buy the tickets until I found out from Twisted when they announced Fright Fest. When they announced Fright Fest, that's when I bought my tickets because, again, I'm very careful of where I get my information from. Ticket Web could have just been like, yeah, there's an event coming up in like fucking 6 months if you're interested. My written works are on Amazon. You'd have to type in my actual name, which Sam Sleazy's not in here, so that's cool. Sam Sleazy, skip this part because he does not want to know my real name. You'll type in Kyle L. Vachon, V as in Victor, Achon on Amazon, and you'll actually find my Descent is Not Treason book. Click on my name, and then The Reapers comes up. Turns out there's like 7 books titled The Reapers. You should provide a link in the description. Yeah, but once I'm finished going live here, because I'm going via YouTube, once it goes up, it goes up. But I've got links on my other videos that show like where you can get Descent is Not Treason. Then you click on my name, and then The Reapers pops up. So, Sid Jones Eaten Alive comes out January 1st. Following that is going to be another one of my side projects that I did years and years ago. Another book from the vault, and then Grains of Chaos. Sid Jones' Grains of Chaos comes out, which I'm super excited about. My goal is to make my writing better and better as time goes on. So that's how I like to think. Is I want to do it better than the last. I don't want to make the same mistakes twice. This, that, and the other. And how I decided to release The Reapers, I thought was pretty fucking cool. Dude, I'm an independent. I used to be Republican. As a matter of fact, technically, I'm still a registered Republican in the state of New Hampshire. But after meeting these people, I couldn't do it anymore. You know what I mean? Edward Lee? No, I have not. Lately, I've been reading more like that nonfiction shit. I do want to check him out, though. I'm reading Greg Graffin's Anarchy Evolution, and I'm also reading Lexicon Devil, so. Which is literally just like a collection of the people who had met Darby Crash, and it's almost kind of like Bible-ish, like not like, you know, it's like all of like the witnesses of Darby. It's pretty intense. I like it. What We Do Is Secret, I feel like 90% of the information that was put into What We Do Is Secret, which is a film based off the Germs, a biopic with Shane West, they took a lot of that from Lexicon Devil, I feel. I think that was like their main source material, but still awesome. Like, I had to own that book. I mean, Jesus Christ, I got the fucking Germs tatted on my arm. Right there. Perfect. Yeah, see, I'm not used to this fucking going live shit. Normally I got all this shit like fucking mapped out and what have you, but not today. And we don't eat shit off of the floor. That's fucking gross. So anything that hits the floor automatically goes in the trash. And if it's an ice cube, it goes in the sink. Fucking gross. I can't stand that. Even when I was a kid, I never wanted to eat shit off the floor. Having another one here. But yeah, guys, it's been a fucking good couple of weeks going on the Child's Play Ninja thing and shit. Like, I knew he was going to wind up calling me too. When he's like, oh, this is the number I'm going to call, I fucking immediately went outside and decided to have a cigarette while that went on. Speaking of cigarette, like Jack Ketchum too, and Wrath James White, awesome names too. Dude, those are dope names. Like, that's some shit that I would put in like the Reapers sequel if I ever write one. Here's the thing with the Reapers. The Reapers, I feel like I'd forgotten most of it. So when I look back at it, I was in the chat that day. Yeah, so you probably heard a lot of what was going on. Do you like the band called Korn, bro? No, not a fan of Korn. Freak on a Leash, but I guess that's everybody's favorite. Even people who don't know of Korn know the song Freak on a Leash, but dope shit. Like, fucking Korn used to put it out back in the day. They used to be really fucking good. Alright, guys, so good news and bad news. We're still live. Bad news is you're not going to be able to see me for a minute because it's fucking pitch black outside. And guess who needs a cigarette? So, just bear with me a moment. It's going to get a little dark. For that, I apologize. But here we go. Oh, you guys can still see me relatively okay for it being outside in a shitty fucking cell phone. Oh, dude. Oh damn, how do I fucking do this? So when I go back inside, you tell me to turn my ass around and I will, and I'll show you what it says on the back. In the back in big letters it says fuck off. Now for those of you that missed it, I was inside cooking and made up some steak and vegetables, and I had a couple of drinks, and now I'm having a cigarette, and the steak was bomb, still bloody and shit. Oh fuck yeah! Not bad having a fucking vegan girlfriend and shit, you know. Blair Witch Project all over again with the cell phone light, right? I mean, at least it's not a tornado like peeking around the corner, so good news on that. But no, there's like no, there's. See, I contradict myself from time to time, but as far as like the whole ghost thing, like if I ever like saw like a person like standing behind me or whatever, like yeah, I'd wig out, but I don't believe in that shit. I saw Korn and Manson open for Danzig. Dude, that's the fucking shit. What's good, like Guru? Dude, I'm fucking aces, man. I got some alcohol in me. Just to plug it again, just for your guys' enjoyment, $24.99 for a fifth is Jim Beam Prohibition pre-Prohibition rye. So good shit. And add some steak, nice and bloodied. Vegetables, microwaved, and one of them seal bags because why the fuck not, right? And again, to the people just tuning in, it's only dark temporarily. Just want to enjoy a smoke. I want to see Tool. Never saw them before. I've never seen Tool, and I'm not a huge fan of Tool, to be honest. Uh, but that's a dope. I'm with Inquisitor on that. That's a dope lineup. I'll be honest, James. I never took you for a Danzig fan. How do you feel about what he said about Trump and all that? Like he's the second one from like the same era of the Sex Pistols to come out and say, "Yeah, I support Trump." Which is one of the things that actually got me back into doing YouTube again. Are you a Misfit? Dude, I love the Misfits. Problem is, I wouldn't get the Crimson Skull because everybody who doesn't even know Misfits, they just think it's a cool little thing and they wear it, so I don't want to be grouped with them, you know? We all support Trump. Not this guy. And for my own reasons. It's not because the Democrats told me not to like him and shit like that, but I honestly thought he'd fix shit. Kind of just does his own thing. Danzig's an asshole. I'm told Danzig's an asshole in real life. Matter of fact, cool story, bro. Uh, Danzig is actually one of my tattooist's like heroes. The guy who did my Lars tattoo. And fucking that's when and his tattoo work was actually featured on the Misfits page for a while and Danzig's. Because Danzig, you know, he's all right with fucking. Like I said, we're bad guys. We got lights on, but he's a huge fan of Danzig and the Misfits. He's got a signed guitar from all the members hanging up on his wall, and that's why I chose him to do my Lars tattoo. This got watered down a wee bit. She's strong as hell. Sid Jones might be drunk by the end of the night. Not sick another bite of this delicious steak here. Same with Axl Rose. Dude, have you seen Axl Rose? He like there's this one post I saw. It's like Axl Rose is starting to look more and more like Benny Hill. I mean, Inquisitor, you're from England. You should know Benny Hill. Dude was fucking hilarious. My buddy Justin Furnett introduced me to Benny Hill. All right, you take care, Thorman. It was good seeing you in here, brother. Keep tuning in. Dude, I remember the first time I saw Benny Hill. I fucking died. That was somebody my mom actually grew up with, and my grandmother grew up watching. And he died in '92 of a heart attack while he was driving. And that same thing happened with Q. After he retired from the Bond movies, he fucking died. No joke. The original Q, who was with Pierce Brosnan. And that was just before R came in to the picture, and then Q retired and then passed away. So that's fucking tragic. We lost Ralphie May, guys. Like, that's something I haven't talked about. Like, if I can talk about an elephant in the room, no pun intended, not making fun of Ralphie May's weight. But, fucking, we lost Ralphie May, man. Like, I think that my biggest loss to this day as far as comedians go is George Carlin. Like, that guy was a hero of mine. Hold on. Funny story, at that show, Jonathan Davis got arrested in the parking lot. And when I last saw him, he was walking around with a fifth of Jaeger. It's like, be careful, bro. And heard that later. Yeah, man. Here's the thing. We've all done crazy shit. You and me, music artists, and I feel like that's what people forget, is that music artists are also people. I've seen Mars at his worst. Maybe I shouldn't talk about that whole thing, but there was a dark time where with Mars, and there's a story behind his song "Hold On," and I was not there with him, but I was trying to get in touch with him that night. The same night he released that on Juggalo News. Now I was the one that mostly did the fucking reviews on that page. Matter of fact, he woke up. I can tell you this story. He woke up one morning and he said, "Hey, did you post the one about ICP and the ACLU?" I said, "Yeah, that was me." He goes, "You realize you're covering the biggest story that hit this site, right?" I said, "No." And that's the first time. I'm sorry. There was twice. The whole time I was working on Juggalo News that I had what is it called? Not sleep deprivation, but sleep paralysis, dream paralysis. So I've experienced that. It's really hard to describe. So basically, you're awake, but you're still semi-dreaming. Everything is normal, and you're frozen, and the weird shit just starts illuminating. It was this dark figure. He walks into my room, comes over and sits at the edge of my bed and starts reaching for me. And I'm like trying to like turn or whatever. And as soon as you move, once you're able to fight that paralysis, like you're awake and it goes away and you're like back to like your original form and whatnot. But everything is still the same. It's not like in a dream where it's like it's your kitchen, but it's changed a little bit. It's the exact same. It's being awake and you see that shit. Weird as fuck. And because I would stay awake up until 2 in the morning and then wake up at 6 a.m. Okay, so the whole story with Zombie and Manson, they argued over who was going to open up for who. Both of them figured they should have been the ones headlining. And while they were on tour, it came to head. That's what happened initially. And I've looked it up, and that's all I can really find. I don't know if they still have beef, if that's what we call it. Speaking of beef, this steak is fucking delicious, guys. Like, it's good. It's real fucking good. A little bit of that A1 steak sauce. Didn't even need salt or pepper. But, yeah, I still think that most likely I still have issues. Oh, when you guys asked about your girlfriend like my shirt, it's Rob Zombie holding up the middle finger, and then that's the bag. My friend Jamie from Planet Fitness got me an Amazon gift card for Christmas one year. So this is what I bought. And this was originally sold at a tour. So, and that's some pretty cool shit, I thought. Glad I got this live shit figured out. I was trying to go live this one time, but instead I hit record and not the go live button. So, and what you're hearing are the pipes creaking. Might not live with mom, but the apartment's kind of meh. And the pipes, like sometimes when they creak, they wake me up. But anyways, the story behind this shirt, and I couldn't tell if I should include it in my music t-shirt collection or my movie t-shirt collection. I have 27 movie shirts and I think 7 band t-shirts. I had a lot more than that, but I had a fire happen. My ex's house burned down, And before you ask, no, it wasn't me. I was actually back in New Hampshire by the time that fire happened. So that was some fucked up shit. I lost my Dropkick Murphys hoodie, which got more action than I ever did in high school. Pisses me off. That hoodie has seen more beds than I'll ever see in my life. Just to name a few. Rebecca Heslop, Rebecca Willis, Emily, what the fuck was her last name? Temple. And then her sister had it, Rebecca Temple. And then Tiffany Esteline, she had my hoodie. Let's see. Sarah something or other, not Gormley. And then Brittany something or other. God, why can't I remember names? Oh, probably because of my alcohol. But yeah, that hoodie. Yeah. And then when I officially got in a relationship with Rebecca Willis, she brought my hoodie back to me, and it was washed. Let me tell you, that hoodie smelled like so much different perfume. That hoodie had definitely been places that I wish I could have been. And now that hoodie was burned. To be honest, my girlfriend would probably burn it too if it was still here. So. We're going to mention specifically, but you pretty much know. Yeah, so I honestly think it's more of an ego thing between Manson and Zombie. Be my guess. I mean, no different than Twisted and ICP. Well, we never saw Twisted headline a Hollow Wicked or anything like that. Plus, he scoops Manson's band. Yeah, I mean, again, it's an ego trip. Like, if Inquisitor and I started a band, and you, James, decided to start a band, and you took Inquisitor from me, yeah, I'd be a little butthurt. Makes sense, but it depends on which side of that fence you're on, I guess. Honestly, the only thing that I've played, I still rock a PS2. All right, I'm not even joking. I had a PS3 that my ex bought, and I said, "Look, listen, I'm traveling, so you keep that." I mean, what the fuck am I gonna do with a PS3 when I'm traveling? And the thing that I played was Xbox One, and that was over at my buddy's place, and he was the one that introduced me to the new Call of Duty games. I actually prefer White Zombie. Yeah, I mean, I could see that, but look at the dynamic between Kid Rock and White Zombie. Both of them changed musically, lyrically, all that shit. Simply because they lost somebody close to them. See, tragedy has an impact on people. And I've talked about that a little bit. But what happens is you lose somebody, like Kid Rock lost Joe C. Zombie lost, I think it was his wife, wasn't it? Are you going to get a new Call of Duty World War II game, dude? Oh man, I owned one Call of Duty game. I mean, I get that, but at the same time, there's a reason why they left, much like the reason why Twisted left. I mean, better opportunity, better paycheck, maybe they were just treated better, shit like that. My point is, you never know. They're human. They're people just like us. They feel jealousy, envy, greed, pain, wrath, suffering, anger. All the emotions that we feel, they feel too. When you're pissed off at your boss and you don't want to stick around anymore, do you stay? Or do you go to the next place that welcomes you with open arms? Like, what do you do? I mean, even if it's like your best friend that you worked with, like my buddy David was my best friend. And Rob and Sean were dating and broke up, and then Cherry Moon came. Ratchet and Clank on PS2. Dude, I've been playing Punisher on PS2. Matter of fact, that's the game I was playing last night when I got that tornado warning. That Punisher game is dope as fuck, am I right? That Punisher game was fucking amazing. I fucking love that Punisher game. And I'm not even a fan of third-person shooters. I like first-person shooters. That Punisher game, man, is fucking brutal. No complaints. But, I mean, I thought it was a death that had affected that. But, again, a breakup can be considered a tragedy, too. Am I right? Okay, guys, what'd you do with my 7-Up? Which a breakup is kind of a death. Yeah, it's also kind of a tragedy. Like, I mean, how many breakups have we suffered from when we stuck a gun to our head? You know? What did you guys do with my fucking 7-Up? Jesus, guys. How do you steal my shit from all the way over there? I got this one, but that's flat as a board. Huh. It's probably right in front of me fucking face. Maybe it's a sign I need to slow down, but I can't find that fucking 7-Up bottle anywhere. I found the flat one. Where the fuck did it go, guys? Huh. I'm not even joking. It's not fucking anywhere. I can't find my 7-Up bottle. That's the weirdest thing. So much for that Blair Witch shit not being true. That's very strange. Really strange. Oh. You know what I probably did? Probably shoved it in the fridge. Oh, dude. I'm looking forward to that Punish thing. Let's talk about that for a minute. Yep. I put it right where it belonged. In the fridge. Hold up. Well, we don't live their lives. We just are telling it. Yeah, well, that's the thing. You get the lie, you get the truth, and you've got perception. I mean, that's what it boils down to. What was that other comment? Jesus Christ, sorry guys. My bad. Show live chat. Oh, dude, okay, so where I say on the next Punisher thing, I was pissed that the mass murder had pushed that off. And that's where I give the NRA a little bit of fucking credit, okay? When there's a mass shooting, 9 times out of 10, they show up in that town and they do a fucking gun rally and like, we're not going to change our ways. In a sense, you got to respect that. Is it distasteful? Maybe. But they stick to their guns, no pun intended. And then you've got like, there was a mass shooting, we shouldn't release this Punisher thing. So you're telling me that there's enough violence and that it features a Las Vegas mass shooting? Probably fucking not. Like, dude, there's going to be violence in film. The difference is this mass shooter, who's 60 years old, I seriously doubt he was watching Punisher or The Avengers or any fucking movie. He was like, hey, that's a good idea. No, he probably got pissed off at somebody in his fucking early 20s, said one day I'm going to kill him on my 60th birthday or when I'm 60 or whatever, and kept to his word. Like, that's what it boils down to. You can speculate all fucking day and night. But don't punish us. No pun intended. We're not the ones that shot people. Like, you're going to push it up because of that? Oh, dude, okay. See, I see that with the smashed out windows. Like, how do you fucking come up with the one window that's smashed out, fucking start shooting it, and then run down fucking, what was it, 4 or 5 flights? Like, nuh-uh. Matter of fact, a buddy of mine, Raj, so shout out to my boy Raj, actually sent me a video that I thought about sharing with you guys, but with it being touch and go, maybe not. But basically it breaks it down to where he was an FBI agent or was trying to bust these ISIS people through a gun deal. Like people getting pissed off at the first season of American Horror Story because of the Columbine. Yeah, Columbine was years ago. Oh, so funny story about the Punisher real quick. Again, remember I know useless facts. There was also security guards who was recorded muzzle flash to the front of him. Yeah, I don't doubt that. So the guy who was playing the Punisher went into a comic book store in New York City, right? And the comic book dealer, seller, store owner, whoever he was, says, I know who you are. And, the guy's got, a stack of comics. And he's like, you're going to be playing the next Punisher. Don't fuck it up. And he goes through the comics. He takes some of them out. He goes, you don't need this one, this one, this one, and this one. These are the ones that you need. And he still made the act to pay for them. Like, when they found out he was the new Punisher, they weren't mad at him, but they were like, you're not going to fuck this up. It was shots inside the gig. Yeah, I mean, dude, you got to think, like, we weren't there for it. And there was that movie Vantage Point, which I thought was absolute garbage, simply because it was like watching a movie and then rewinding it and then watching it again. But it's that same shit, you know what I mean? Like, you're not there for it, and you got a different vantage point and perspective on everything that happened. The guy, even though he was there, he doesn't have the whole story. He has his perspective of what had happened. Unless he was there in the room with the guy, which I doubt. Also, I'm not sure if they're real or not, but supposedly there's images released about what had happened and the shooter being shot in the head and whatnot, like crime scene photos. Again, I don't know if they're real or not, that's why I never posted them. But it is there for you guys to look at. Dude, the media, I got my own qualms with the media. The media, no matter what, is biased. Fox News, CNN, NBC, MSNBC, CBS, like, they're all fucking biased, dude. Even your local news station. Thanks, YouTube. Dude, thank freedom of speech. You know, I'm going to say this on my channel. Snaps has a point. The First Amendment is a beautiful thing. It really is. I couldn't agree more on anything with her. She's right. However, until you use that freedom of speech and realize there's consequences for your actions. Dude, thank you, Light Guru. Much love. Like, dude, you guys are fucking amazing. Jesus. Okay, so, Blunt Atheist and I, thank you both, James and Light Guru. We talked about this, and there was a thing that happened back before TV. It was called War of the Worlds. And there was mass panic. And people were committing suicide. And there was just a lot of mayhem. Much like what we see today. Because they thought that the transmission was real. They didn't realize that it was a story. And that's when I believe that the government and the higher powers knew for a fact that people can't handle the truth. They can't handle information given to them all the time. If we found out aliens were real and the government came out and said, and we've been communicating with them and shit like that, you and me might be like, well, yeah, we fucking knew that. But how do you think other people would react, dude? Like, how many people would be in fucking paranoia and shit like that? Like, people are easily fucking scared and intimidated. You know what I mean? And it blows my mind. The shit that they taught us in high school. Outside of the textbooks. You know, I had this teacher. His name was Mr. Steele. He was the one who really got me interested in history. And then history was the subject that got me into conspiracy theory. So, plate's gone, guys. I think I did a pretty good job, by the way, if I don't say so myself, of eating my dinner, communicating with you guys, keeping an eye on the chat. For most of the part, I probably missed some stuff when I was like jumping up and about. But I'm going to finish this drink here. You guys are coming with me for another cigarette. And I say, fuck it, we continue this shit till fucking whenever. A reality game. It's like testing how we take things. Yeah. Dude, I appreciate you watching my vids, by the way. The person can be smart. People in general are easily scared and panicky. Okay, James, dude, fuck yes. So let me hail to you for a minute, James. I have talked to my girl about this several times. A person can be a wonderful thing. A person can teach you something. A person can give you a whole new perspective. But when you get people in one room, like, you start to see IQs dwindle just a hair. You start to see people start to lose their minds. This might sound sexist. Especially women. I feel like being in a group of women, I'm listening to Real Housewives. I mean, I'd be better off watching Oprah Winfrey or fucking The Maury Show. And I'd get more from that than sitting in a room. Because again, I feel like people have this thing where they're like, they need to be accepted. And those are the kinds of people that are like, yeah, fuck that. I want to go and just be with this person and agree with this person and gossip about this other person who may or may not be here. And then they all walk away and they start talking shit behind their backs. There was this post. I know I keep referring to this. Sorry, fridge is going now. There's this post that I saw where it's like, women's like, bye, hun. Bye, babe. Man, she's a real cunt, isn't she? Yeah, she's a real fucking cunt. And then you've got, that's now down at the bottom. It's like the guy's like, hey, fuck you, bro. Yeah, fuck you, bro. Nah, he's cool shit, right? Am I not fucking right? He's fucking cool. Like, that's the parallel that we're in not just gender, but in society as well. Which makes me wonder where the transgenders stand. Huh. Interesting. Well, one more swig. And then a cig. Come with me. We're going back into the darkness. So anyway, it baffles me all the shit that's going on, guys, and the fact that I've just now figured out how to go live, which is some shit, isn't it? Even though it's a shitty phone, I can still talk to you guys. It's fucking great. But yeah, I mean, there's so much, like there's a lot. Oh, damn, here they are. Nothing like being absent-minded. But yeah, I mean, there's so much that people miss out on, and there's so much information out there, and there's so many different perspectives. All it takes is one stupid person in a group to voice stupidity, and it spreads insanity like a toxic plague. Yes, thank you. Thank you. I completely agree with that, and I've seen it happen. One person with a bad idea and the rest to follow. Damn, James, I fucking mistook you. And for that, I apologize. Publicly. Live. I apologize. But, I mean, dude, like, you fucking nailed it on the head, and I've had this conversation with so many people, including my girlfriend. She sees the world differently than I do, And I think that that's what's important. And why my relationship works is that we all just kind of, like, fit in to different perspectives, but we're willing to see that other side of the fence. And that's what I've said that always needs to happen. Like, yeah, I might have had a different lifestyle than she had, but she had a different lifestyle than I had. So we've had different paths, therefore different lessons, therefore different people we've encountered. And to see that parallel and to see that opposite view is key. Let's turn that battery saver on. Nah, never mind. Phone's starting to die, so we're just going to have to charge this in and continue this. Probably for another 15 minutes or so. Can't do this all night, but again, I said on CPN's thing, I hate nobody. I don't have that kind of like hate in my heart anymore, especially after reading Thus Spoke Zarathustra, which should be your guys' homework, is go onto YouTube and listen to the audio. It's free. Check out Thus Spoke Zarathustra. There's a creature running around in the woods. Awesome. Thank God I'm on the second floor. See, pros and cons to everything. But I mean, it's just messed up the way that people view things. And they won't see the opposite side of it. Like, we forget that some people are human. We idolize these people and forget they also feel depression and anger and betrayal and sadness. And that, to me, is upsetting when we lose sight of that. But as much as social media, I feel like, has become the enemy, group mentality can be the worst. I don't hate no one. I dislike some people, but I rarely hate them. Well, here's the thing. If someone's being nasty to me, right? We're taking a walk real quick to go get my phone charger so we can continue this live stream. When you think about it, there's a lot of people that suffered a lot from other people. I mean, that's mostly where we got our tragedy from. Breakups. I know I got a lot of my fucking angst from my ex's mom, who couldn't figure out which side of the board she wanted to be on. I'm just going to grab the stand right here, and then we're going to sit and chat, guys. But yeah, my fucking food's cooked and eaten, and it's gone now. And I've had my beverage, and I've had my cigarette. So now we charge up the phone, and we talk a wee bit.
So, anyways, story with my ex's mom. She couldn't figure out if she was in a good mood or a bad mood, right? And that fucked with me. Like, it's like walking on eggshells. And I dealt with this for over a year. And that's when I realized I would never deal with, like, a girlfriend's family or anything like that. And I feel like that I know I'm not the only person that felt that way. You know? Uh, a lot of us have had issues with different people for different reasons. Mine is different than others. I understand that and respect that. But if we can offer like some sort of advice through what we've been through, the more you experience, the better off you are, especially in your early years. Like I'm 27 years old. In my 7 years of being out of my parents' place, and until I went back for February to September, and then out again, which is another fucked up story. There's a lot that I learned in that 7 years of traveling. In Australia, they call it a walkabout. And on my walkabout, I learned a lot. I've seen sermons in churches. I've met people at Occupy, which I still hold near and dear. Yeah, hate is earned and hard for me. It's scary how a group of normal people can turn to an angry mob so quickly. That goes right back to what you're saying, though, James. It takes that one person to say something stupid with a group of people that can't think for themselves, and then they follow suit. Like, that is dangerous. You know what I mean? I mean, that's how you got the fucking Jonestown fucking tragedy, what they call a massacre. But it was choice. Some of them were killed, but 99% of them drank that Kool-Aid. You know, that's where we got the term, he drank the Kool-Aid, was because of the Jonestown thing. And Jones, by the way, Sid Jones has nothing to do with that. There was a guitarist, Steve Jones, and Sid Vicious, and I combined the first and last name. I hate some people's agendas. Bad one, that is. Well, that's also up to interpretation on how you see a bad motive, a bad idea, a bad decision. Because to the Nazis, it's fine to do what they do. To any other group of people, what they do is justified based off of their own thing. But here's the thing. I'm not sure how you guys are going to take to this. But I was walking in Chico, California, and there's a bunch of articles on this. You guys can find this for yourselves. Again, if this wasn't live, I would post it in the description. But my ex-girlfriend at the time, clearly now ex, her name was Elizabeth Minton. Now, I'm giving you guys this information so you can look it up for yourself. I was out for one of my walks because I was on the whole, like, I'd stay up all night and write. Matter of fact, at the time, I was writing a story about the 6 Joker cards. My own novel on it, which was never finished. And I was trying to give myself, like, that caffeine overdose, that rush when you're up all night, you know, that whole thing. And so I decided to go for an hour and a half walk that night. And I'm walking back to the apartment, and I see all this shit. Kind of thought that about your name, which I thought, cool. Steve Jones having done guitar on Piggy Pie Malenko. Dude, Steve Jones also worked with Thin Lizzy. Like, Steve Jones did a lot of things. Matter of fact, Glenn Matlock is going to be doing a show in England with Flogging Molly and Dropkick Murphys. But, so I come back, I see a raccoon running in the yard, and I see a white owl. And all of a sudden, I get this really weird gut feeling. So I go inside, the door's open about yay much. And I step inside, there's a dude standing over my girlfriend. I didn't know if this dude was half retarded or drunk, but he was also African American. He was black. And I said, dude, you need to get the fuck out. She shot out of bed and said, no, he touched me. I thought it was you. I chase him down the street. I call 911. And I said this. The woman, it was a female dispatch, and she said, 911, what's your emergency? These are my words, guys. I'm chasing a nigger down the road. And if you're not here within 20 minutes, I'm going to kill him. The cruisers cut me off behind me and in front of me. He leapt over a fence. And they sat me on the sidewalk. They did not cuff me or arrest me. I told them my story. She told them her story. She called her mom, bawling her eyes out, curled up in the corner. And it was a 3-day ordeal where I finally got back on my sleep schedule. I was no longer up all night. I didn't go to sleep till the following night, and so I slept that whole night, and then so I was no longer on the night shift. And so I had to describe the sketch artist, all this shit, right? And they gave me a lineup picture, which was, by the way, not like what you see in the movies, where it's like 5 or 6 people. It was a binder with black and white photos that big. I couldn't positively identify the guy. So she goes on her laptop and said, "Was this him?" And I said, "Yes." And the police officer then told me, the detective then told me, "We cannot use that as evidence. You did not positively identify him in a lineup." I told him why. And I got pissed and I said, "Detective, I'm a kind, compassionate, understanding guy. So I'm going to tell you 2 things right now. 1, you've got 3 days. I will give you 3 days to arrest this man or at least question him. And I will call you for those 3 days. And also, I don't want you to say a word after that. I want you to get the fuck out of my apartment." So he leaves. The next day I call him. "No, we have nothing." Second day, I call him. He's got nothing to say. On the third day, he treats me a little bit differently, addresses me by my name, and he says, "I strongly recommend," I'm like, "I strongly recommend that you tell me if you have made any sort of motion on this man, Jeremy Scott. GermeyScott. And he said no. I said, "That's unfortunate because this was your 3rd day." So 11 o'clock that night, earlier in the day, I had already made a fake Facebook page of Applegate, something Applegate, and I took it from one of my ex's last names. And I used that fake Facebook page to lure him into Bidwell Park. I had a bandana over my face. I had a hood up, sunglasses on, and a knife in my hand. I was going to stab the guy. So he comes bolting it. Like, I'm waiting like 20, 30 minutes by the women's bathroom in a place called Bidwell Park. And he books it by the bathrooms, and he turns and he looks at me. I dropped the bandana. He fell to his knees, held his hands up, and said, "Where are the cops? Where are the cops?" I'm like, "Unfortunately for you, it's just the 2 of us out here." And he says, "Fuck." And he bawls his eyes out. Now, I was going to stab him, but I didn't. I threw the knife in the dirt. It's sticking up like this. And I said, "We need to talk." So I sat him up against the brick wall and we talked. And he told me, as I was trying to get the recordings, which I got, but they weren't in the best quality, I guess. On an old cell phone that's back in New Hampshire, it's gone somewhere. I've tried to get that back. Matter of fact, the prosecutor in California wanted that. And we talked for about 2 hours, and I said, "Tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock, you're going to come by the apartment. You're going to turn yourself in. We're going to go with you. We're going to try and get you a lighter sentence." He said, "Okay." And I said, "Because if you don't, and I got to find you, I'm going to handcuff you to a post and leave you with a sign. And I'm going to let whatever group of people do whatever they want to you." He fled to San Francisco. And that was that. For that was 2012. That was January 25th of 2012. And 4 years later, I'm back in Michigan. And I'm checking the mail. And I've got a "you need to be in court" in California. Holy fuck. So this was, I want to say, about October of 2015. For a year, I kept going in for a show cause hearing, which is basically, can you show up to this court hearing in California? Can you not show up to this hearing in California? And I went to every single one of those court dates, and it kept getting postponed, all the way up until March or April, where the prosecutor had messaged me a week before I was supposed to fly out the next time. They were going to pay for a hotel room, flight, everything. I still have that email. To which she said, I don't have enough evidence to prove to a jury beyond a reasonable doubt that these events had happened. Oh, I shared my words with that prosecutor, believe you me. And that's the kind of person, the prosecutor and the guy that did that, that puts hate in your heart. Was I wrong for calling him that? Yeah, but you also got to admit how angry I was at that point. And that's where real hate bred from, was from that incident. Because they had the recordings. They had my side of the story. And come to find out, she lied to the prosecutor. Elizabeth Minton lied to the prosecutors about something. What that was, they will not disclose to me. And I figured with them fucking giving me the runaround for over a year, they owed me that. And that never came to pass. So every January 25th, for years, I would call the police department in Chico to get, an update. And that's how I knew what the day was. It was January 25th, 11 o'clock at night, 2012. And I've never forgotten that day. And at least 2 or 3 times a week I think about that. And that's where real hate comes from, is when somebody does something like that and then the justice system fails to act. But they will act during an election year. But because she lied about something, I don't know. So that's my story, Day. That's my little tale of something that happened to me where, yeah. But it wasn't bred from race or anything like that. I am very, very hungover. Dude, we're just getting our engine started. Welcome to the chat, Captain. You missed a lot. It's been an hour and 27 minutes. And now 21 seconds. And you've missed quite a bit. You've missed dinner. You've missed 2 cigarettes. Jesus Christ, I don't even know how many drinks. Maybe 4 or 5 drinks. And a lot of story and a lot of things going on. So hopefully you're doing well. Captain Flannel. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, hate exists. People do things. And now I see it. I see the world differently because of that. At least no tornado. No tornadoes. We actually did have a touchdown, Captain, to catch you up a little bit. We had a touchdown. I'd say about 15 miles from my doorstep. So that's where the sighting was. Good news with tornado watches, they don't go all night like, with a hurricane or whatever. Tornadoes drop, they have a short shelf life, and they go away. So it's not like what you see in the movies where a tornado goes like 50, 60 miles, straight. It has a short shelf life. So, good news. And yeah. Damn, yeah, I've seen a few tornadoes being in Kansas. Boy, I saw your comment on that, and you got a lot more people viewed that video than I thought they would. Well, Inquisitor guess I should be heading to the UK because I fucking hate the idea of a fucking tornado being right outside my door. I mean, who would like that in the first place? Anyway, that's something that we've talked about. I mean, with the whole Jeremy Scott thing and all of that. But what's up, cheeky fellow? So another story that I'd shared on the Blunt Atheist podcast and a couple of others is one of the stories that really kind of fucks with me on a different level. And my friend was in a trailer house, and a tornado flipped over onto his car. Yeah, that sounds like a bad day. So you guys will see this name in the book The Reapers. Buddy of mine, Baby Boy. He hits me up one day. I spend a lot of time at grocery stores. I don't know why. I guess it's where I can get cigarettes and alcohol and whatever it is that I need. But at this grocery store, I think I was still on food stamps at the time. I can't remember. But I remember I was at this place called Surefine, and it's in Conway, New Hampshire. So I'm at this Surefine, and buddy calls me up and goes, "Where are you?" I'm like, "Dude, I'm at the grocery store, Surefine." And he goes, "I'll be there in about 15 minutes. He rips into the parking lot. Now, there was a girl that was murdered. Her name was Krista Dittmeyer. And she was killed. Talk about the Vegas shooting. Well, we kind of covered that a little bit, cheeky fella, but we'll revisit that. We'll recap after I tell you guys this story, which involves a juggalo. So he picks me up, and he throws a newspaper on my lap. And he goes, "You know the guys that killed Krista Dittmeyer?" I said, "No." And he goes, "You do now." He said they got indicted. They caught the guys, indicted them in like the same weekend. Throws it on my lap, and I look. And you can look this up for yourself. Look up Krista Dittmeyer murder. Conway, New Hampshire, Cranmore, whatever you want to tag into that. And then go to Google Images. The dude was wearing a Hatchet Man jersey. They never mentioned the fact he was an ICP fan. They never mentioned the fact that he was arrested in a Hatchet Man jersey. Like, he was wearing that when they got him, I guess. But they never said it was because of the music or anything like that. They don't even, like, in Conway, New Hampshire, they're not even aware of the whole Juggalo gang label. I know that for a fact. And it just blows my mind that shit went down and nobody paid attention to the music, because this was 2010, 2011, right around the time this happened. And yeah, pretty sure it was about that time. And yeah, that's what had happened. Nobody drew attention to it. And that happened in a place called Duck Pond at Cranmore Mountain. And in 2014, I worked at Cranmore Mountain, and I found out that Duck Pond was where they made the snow. Yeah, fucked up, right? Well, they showed a picture of this girl. I said, "Oh, she was beautiful," and this, that, and the other. My buddy John Ryan, he goes, who's not my buddy anymore, by the way. We had a personal rift. But he says, that sucks. But I saw her up in Maine. She was a drug addict, and she looked bad. What they were using was her senior picture. She does not look like that anymore. When the story came out, found out that she was actually using her child to deal drugs. So it wasn't about the music, but the crime that was committed. Makes you think a little bit. So let's go back to the Vegas shooting. So there's a couple of stories going around, and I've talked about this, touched base on this. There's a story coming up. There was 2 shooters. There's also been supposed crime scene photos that have been released on Facebook where it's the man that had killed himself. There's guns all out the room. And there was a woman that had commented saying she had stayed at that hotel, and that it does, in fact, look like one of those rooms. There's another story that came out. This one guy, he released it. My buddy Raj, he sent it to me. I still have the link, so I'll try and find a way to get that to you guys, maybe in my next video, because I can't do it in the description. Once this goes up, it goes up. So basically, that story is that they were trying to nab these ISIS cells that are in the United States through a gun trade, and there was a bunch of cameras. There's a few YouTube uploads too. Oh, dude, for sure. I'm sure there are. And apparently what had happened is he was an FBI agent trying to lure them in, and ISIS killed him and started shooting the place. That's what one of the unofficial stories are told. I mean, there's so many different stories about this going on. It's a fucking tragedy, but like I feel like with the internet, it's much like with the whole alien thing. Like back in the day, we had books on it, and now we've got the internet where people are posting up things, but there's so much bullshit being put out at the same time that it's hard to differentiate what the media, because we've known the media's lied to us for a long time, but now we're trying to figure out who's trying to get attention online. So it's wishy-washy. You know what I mean? So that's how I feel about the Vegas shooting is much like everything else. We'll never know the whole story. There's your story, my story, and then the truth. And in this case, you've got that times a million. You know, you've got CNN's version, you've got Fox News' version, you've got Timmy Tom Tim's from Twitter's version, you've got fucking Vice's version, RT's version. Like, it's so convoluted with so much speculation. You just have to boil it down to you and me will never know the truth. Yeah, it takes time to go through it, but at the same time, there's so much of it. Like, how the fuck do you differentiate, like, real from fake, you know? It's hard. And without it going against your fucking bias, you know what I mean? Like, makes it even fucking harder. It fucking sucks. Sorry, I realized I had bought an energy drink for tomorrow and a cranberry juice, which probably shouldn't stay out too long, and that has to go in the fridge. So yeah, that's what we're doing. Just putting shit, just doing adult things and putting stuff where they belong. That's all we're doing right now. But yeah, I mean, I don't know what your guys' perspective is on the Vegas shooting. Me personally, we'll never know, so I don't try and like pick a side or whatever. I'm just saying that there's enough evidence to say we're not being told everything. That's all I can say on it. You know, there's this whole thing. I don't know if you saw it. I don't remember if it was called Inside 9/11 or what it was called. And one of the things that they had said was the difference between a conspiracy and conspiracy theory. Like there was a bunch of facts and stuff like that regarding 9/11 that were brought up in this documentary. And it baffles me of how much people confuse conspiracy with conspiracy theory. Because a theory is just that. A theory, right? So if I'm telling you guys a story of something that happened and I have no proof of it or no facts or anything like that, it becomes a theory, an idea. But when there's physical evidence to support what I am saying, then that becomes conspiracy, not theory. It's more than an idea. I just don't know. All I do know is that there is some false news, so that just makes me think, why? Well, it's like I told you, man. Everyone's got their own biased thing. Some people will only tell you what they want you to know. You know? Like, for instance, was Iraq part of the whole fucking Gulf War? Or the whole fucking terrorist thing? What is it that, you know, like Osama bin Laden? Do we know the full story about Osama bin Laden? Just what we're told. What we do know is that he was once Time Magazine's Man of the Year. We know that. We also know that he was supposedly behind the attacks on the first terror attack, which was a car bombing of the Twin Towers. And that we do know. What we also don't know, sorry, just get my charger here, is that did Bill Clinton actually have a chance to kill Osama bin Laden and decided against it? It's just crazy. You can go on the web and find people who think the same and back your belief. People now believe what they want to, real or fake. Well, what I've also learned, there's a video out. It's about how your mind works. And while you might remember certain facts, you're more apt to reminding facts that support your theory. And one thing that we tend to do when we Google something is we Google in a certain way now. Instead of just saying Juggalo March or Gathering of the Juggalos, we try and type in something that would fit our position on that. That would fit our bias agenda towards that, find a link, and then post it. I mean, the people that are for it do it too. But that's how the world works now. We'll look up something in a certain way. Like, we'll still do it, but it's got to fit our mentality. You know, I remember back in the day, I was listening to music, and I felt like the music agreed with me, not that I agreed with the music. And I didn't seek it out because I felt like it would agree with me. I just enjoyed it. And of course, that album could have come up first. If you think the world is flat, you can find the same idiots now that believe thus now, making you think you're right. Well, yeah, and that's the thing. Like, when you look up Earth is flat instead of like theory or whatever, you'll look up how the world is flat, and it's just going to show up biased articles on how they think that. It's interesting how the internet could be used in such positive ways, and instead it's used to spread fucking propaganda, lies, and everything else. That shit, just type the word. Right. That's what I'm saying. All you got to do is word things differently. You know what I mean? And I mentioned this on Blunt Atheists thing where Joe Kua, actually, as much as I don't like him, you got to give the devil his due. He knows a lot about common law, social security numbers, what they mean, and shit like that. Like, I give him credit for knowing that, because a lot of people don't. As much as it's called common law, it's not commonly known. There's a reason for that. But yeah, he was absolutely right. He nabbed that on the fucking head. But the same people that use these statistics and shit tend to be the same people that fucking walk around with guns and shit just because they can. Saying the world is flat because you looked it up and it's like you. I want to read this to you guys. And you don't have to look up, now internet will just send you vids in your feeds. Right, so because you subscribe to certain things. You subscribe to things that you agree with. Me, on the other hand, I've subscribed to many pages, 3 of which had banned me, by the way, because I have a different perspective on it. It is what you like. They just keep sending you stuff you like in your feed. Absolutely. They keep feeding to your fucking ideas. It has become the one world order. It certainly has become part of it. I mean, there's so much to it. I mean, as Snaps has fucking talked about with George Soros, which, by the way, guys, just for the record, if George Soros was depositing money into my bank account, I would not have this fucking $30 Straight Talk phone. Just saying. Like I said earlier, we'd be talking on a big screen TV, and I'd have at least 2 or 3 of you here with me, and we'd be having drinks and doing our own fucking podcast thing. Like, I am not being paid by George Soros. I promise. That would be kind of cool, though. Just to think you're paid just to incite chaos. That's a beautiful gig. Therefore, making you not even see. Try the other side. That's the thing, though. People have an ego and they're afraid to be wrong. But the problem is it's also going to fuck with how we've been taught all of our lives. Depending on your raising and your schooling, I was taught, which was my senior quote, and I've said this in many of my videos, the most important thing is not to stop questioning. And that includes questioning yourself and where you stand. Questioning whether or not what you're doing is right, immoral, unjust. Like, is this the right thing to do? Should I be doing this? Should I apologize for this? But the problem is now ego gets in the way. Now with YouTube, it's like what Bo Burnham said this on the Blunt Atheist podcast. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all this social media has allowed us to become our own favorite celebrity. And let me tell you, I'm not even my favorite celebrity. I've got many others that I could like aspire to be like. And one of them, surprisingly enough, is Ron Perlman. I support that guy. And just for the record, Sons of Anarchy was a great show up until that finale. Worst finale ever. But some of the best Ron Perlman fucking performance we have ever seen ever. Yeah, I stand by that. Ron Perlman's a fucking, he's amazing. And it's not like he's got politics that I want to get behind or whatever. He's funny. I don't know if you follow him on Facebook. It's anti-tool, but take it for what it is. Right. I mean, you can use it for all the right reasons, or you can use it to just justify your position. And that's the truth. Like, that's how the internet works now. Is that it caters to you. Instead of you having to use that to find your information, help you with your schoolwork or whatever, now you can use it to just adjust facts a little bit. Just enough so that way you're not wrong. And what's wrong with being wrong? Like, that's, like, if somebody proved me wrong, like, even Child's Play Ninja. Oh, shit, was that last night or the night before? Now I forget. Whoopsie daisy. I guess I've had one too many. I'm born in this stuff. I see both sides. I hear you. I heard there was a senator or something that said George Soros' family was affiliated with the Nazis. What the fuck? George family was Jew and put in concentration camps. They just lie and lie. I love Ron Perlman's narration on 1,000 Ways to Die. That was Ron Perlman? Dude, my mind is blown right now. I had no idea. And thinking back to it, that's amazing. Dude, like I said, man, Ron Perlman. And you should see his Facebook posts. They're funny as shit. Like, this guy could do stand-up comedy. This guy, again, I know I've said this reference a lot, has more fucking talent in the corner of his pinky nail than I have in my entire body. That's just to give you a slight ratio. Man's a fucking genius. Fucking Ron Perlman for president, everybody. That's the thing, Captain. What I love to do, simply because I was told I was good at it, was pissing people off. And I figure if I can piss people off, instigate, and press those buttons, and bring out their worst, I think that's a good thing. Instead of saying, I'm a compassionate human being 100% of the time, let me prove to you why you're not. I'm going to find all your weak spots. I'm going to find the fucking worst thing that I could ever say to you. I'm going to say it, and my words, without fists, you will lose every time. It's a talent. It really is. See, people were shouting, getting all frustrated. Dude, here's the thing. It's not just Child's Play Ninja, and the fact that he was pissed also shows his passion. I said this in the Blunt Atheist podcast yesterday. Damn, I talked a lot, I guess. And I said, I give Chuck Reeves and Child's Play Ninja all the credit in the world for what they do. They earned their way. Chuck came out here and changed the paradigm of the Juggalo community. He really did. Like, for a while, it was fucking faded and shit. And Child's Play Ninja was right. He was the one that we need. I just found out there is a Decline of Western Civilization Part 3 in 90s LA Punks. You seen it? Dude, yeah, it's actually a 3-parter. It wasn't a 2-part, it was a 3-part. So yeah, I saw that shit a while back, I think. I also saw Lost Punks or something like that, where it's about like the Los Angeles punk scene. It wasn't very good. You could definitely tell a lot of it was scripted. But anyways, I give credit to Child's Play Ninja and Chuck Reeves for everything they've done, everything they've accomplished in their own right. And I really like the fact that they got people riled up to not necessarily pick sides, but to get opposing views. Like when I heard Chuck Reeves talking about the fucking sunglasses on Magic Ninja Entertainment, I'm not gonna lie, I wanted to fucking buy a pair. No joke. I wanted to go online and buy a fucking pair of those sunglasses. Well, it wasn't that he was like one of them fucking salesmen, like all over the place overselling it. He was just giving information and his fucking opinion on it, which I could not see through a picture online. Like fucking sunglasses made of bamboo. Yes, fucking please. But Child's Play Ninja, in the same breath. I'm still waiting for that video of him shitting all over Psychopathic Records. He still hasn't released that. I don't know if he will. There's a couple of lost tapes out there with Chuck Reeves and Child's Play Ninja having talks. They've talked more than the times that we have seen. It just had been less propagated and less in our faces and less advertised. But they have had conversations, even on Reeves' channel. And he said, oh, people are going to think I hate Psychopathic by the time I do this video. And I never saw it. And if I did, I didn't get that vibe. So, still waiting on that. But again, I feel like that those two are very necessary in the Juggalo community. And because those two exist, I no longer have to talk about all the Juggalo music. I can talk about punk, hip-hop, the things that I've done. Like, I feel like my whole thing that I used to do on this channel, and I tried doing it on the other channel that I have, which has maybe 7 videos on it, which was all movies. And then movies came out that I was excited for, and it kind of killed me a little bit. And Eli Roth, my girlfriend and I met because of Eli Roth. No joke. And when we met, CPN doesn't float my boat. That's just me. Dude, it's not for everybody. I mean, there's things that you're gonna like about people. I mean, same with celebrities. Everyone that called an individual, and you never learn, or at least learn about people if you don't have that's arguments. Me and my friend get in arguments all the time. My buddy Steve and I got into, I think, 3 of the biggest arguments. Should Edge be World Heavyweight Champion? The top and a bottom to a hot dog bun. What the fuck was the third argument? I know those were the 2 biggest ones that we argued about. Like, we went on that whole hot dog bun thing for like an hour. And finally, he asked for a hot dog bun, and I showed it to him, and he actually showed me there was a top and a bottom. The dude was blind, and he actually showed me a top and a bottom to a hot dog bun. Is 2.5 Men the best show ever? That was the third one. That was it. He hated that show. I fucking loved it. I thought it was great when Charlie Sheen was on it. Anyway, I watched the episode when he died, and it was, ironically enough, the same year Edge retired. So funny how that worked out. And the weirder thing is my buddy Steve died the same year Undertaker lost his undefeated streak at WrestleMania. Really weird fucking coincidence. Fucking weird. But yeah, he was my best friend, man. Like, I think about him every fucking day. Like, there's not a day that goes by I've not thought about that, man, where I miss doing what I do with you guys right now. Like, what I'm doing with you guys right now is the same shit him and I did for fucking triple this time. Like, I can't tell you how many times I'd have to plug in my phone, charge it, talk with him, unplug my phone, and charge it again by the time we were done with our conversation. It happened so many fucking times. And that friendship, it put a lot of loss in me and sadness, but now I can bring that to this table, you know, through my personal experience. And I hope the same for you guys. Like, I hope that you guys share your stories and share your experiences. I mean, even fucking Snaps. Like, while I don't agree with everything she says, and she's very in your face about it, she's got a couple of good points, as does her boyfriend. Like, I can't argue with that. And that's not me just being unbiased. That's me saying, you know what? These are facts that they know. And I'm damn fucking happy that they know them. That's what's important to me. Is whether or not we agree on everything, and whether she calls me out in all of her videos, which, by the way, I've not been watching her videos. And I'm sure she has not been watching mine. It's just one of those things that I feel like is one of those things that we don't necessarily have to battle about. It's one less conflict. We got in a big argument about the NFL kneeling. It turned into a conference flag that last night. Our old ladies thought we were about to fight. Nope. She got worked up trying to convince. So, not everybody knows everything, and we all know something. Dude, Inquisitor, that should be on a fucking tombstone somewhere. That should be in a fucking thing. But to go back to the whole kneeling thing, like, the same people that say show the flag respect are the same people that are American flag, don't think we did convince him. When it comes to the flag, okay, and a lot of these people that support the flag put God and country in the same sentence, there's a commandment called thou shalt not have strange gods before me, which means you do not worship an idol. You do not worship an element or an object or a person before God or Jesus. But here's the thing. Catholics put the Archangel Michael, Virgin Mary, St. Peter, and all these other saints before Christ. Matter of fact, in Rome, Jesus is the sixth saint they pray to. So it's not much of a monotheistic belief anymore. It's now become almost, with Catholicism, a polytheism. And with these people, like, you have to salute the flag and pray to the flag. You're actually violating that commandment that you solely believe. If you're religious, you were defrauding that commandment, which is a violation of the Ten Commandments. Which, in violating the Ten Commandments, you go to hell. Unless you're a Catholic, you go to purgatory and then heaven or hell at that point. But that's where I stand on it, is that these same people that say, You must respect the flag. These people did not shed blood for a flag. They did it for freedom and for their country. A flag is a piece of fabric, hence black flag and anti-flag. One of my best friends, who is a brother to me now by pretty much everything but blood, we literally got in a fist fight when we first met. We hated each other. Agreed to take a break. Yeah, I mean, that's how guys work, though, bro. Like, James, you and me could go in the backyard, fucking in the parking lot, 10, 15 minutes, not even that long. You'd probably, and no joke, you'd probably beat the fucking shit out of me, knock me out for, I don't know, God, I'd probably forget my name and my birthday and everything, forget what year it is, and then we're going to go to Burger King, which is about 5 minutes from me, and we're going to go fucking grab some fucking dinner, as if nothing happened, because we got it out of our system. Women aren't like that. True fact. Oh, they'll hate each other forever. Like, women are mean to each other. Like, us guys, we'll be fucking pricks and dicks and fucking... We could break a nose, but a girl will break you in places you didn't even know existed. I've said that a few times. But, I mean, that's one of the things I'd learned. Not just how to fight, but, like, how to handle the aftermath. Start fighting, and I lit a joint, offered him a hit. We started talking like it was like, damn, you're cool. Dude, that's the thing, though. Like, when you're pissed off and you just get out of your system... There's nothing to hang on to after that. Like, you got it out of your fucking system. It's not about bragging rights. Like, what was that one quote? Nobody ever wins a fight. It's not about winning. It's about just getting that out of you. Like, it's been building up for so long. You fucking have at it, and then you're done. Like, that's what the whole buildup was to. You had it out. It's good. So, fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. You know, like I had said earlier, James, like, I give you a fucking ton of credit. Like, I took you wrong. You probably took me wrong. But again, we can't fight in man to man because, probably distance, whatever. But I feel like we got all that shit out of our system. And it's like, at the end of the day, it's like, look, man, there is a certain degree of respect, a mutual respect for one another. And I think that, like I said, all it took was to get that out of our system, and now it's aces. And if anything, I feel like the March deserves credit for that. And I'll say that publicly. Girls fight dirty as fuck. They pull each other's hair. Oh, dude, fuck yeah. They'll grab anything. There was one girl fight that I saw, right? These two bitches, they're fighting each other. The teachers break it up, and the way that our hallway worked is it was like a circle. And in the middle of the circle, you had a way to get into the office, and then through the other side was the counselor's office. So you've got a circle, then you go through the door, and then if you keep going down that hallway, there's an exit door which cuts off to the other side. Okay? So they bring this one girl into the office. This other bitch breaks loose, loops around, goes through the counselor's office, meets her in the office counselor area in that minor, small hallway. And they fucking had at it again. Like, she grabbed her by her fucking hair and ripped her out of the office, and they had to break it up again. Like, guys, they're like, dude, break it up. Like, all right, cool, fine, whatever. But when it's girls, it's like, no, it's fucking on. And they're, oh my fuck, dude. Like, it's brutal. I've seen some chick fights. Like, one of my teachers, oh my God, he says, I was telling my girl this the other night. What you do to break up a girl's fighting is you take a cold washcloth, you put it to the back of their neck, and you grab them by it. I'm like a pussy. Grab them like a pussy. I mean, short of grabbing them by the pussy, which I'm pretty sure would also get their attention. I never saw it that way. Like, that would get them to stop fighting, wouldn't it? Officer, I was just trying to help. Like, there was a physical conflict. I was just doing my duty as a civilian of this here great country and served it well by breaking up this fist fight by grabbing her by the pussy. Because at that point, they're done fighting. You'll probably get your ass kicked, but you did it for the greater good. Damn, Daniel. Females prisons are much worse than blokes, though. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing, though, too. Have you ever watched Where to Invade Next with Michael Moore? Like, there's so many different things in the country that happen, and so many different things in our country, and how the prison systems work, and their theory behind the prison system. Like, in Sweden, they don't have a whole lot of repeat offenders. Like, they go to jail, sometimes it's for life, other times it's not. And then in the U.S. prison system, we actually make money off of the prison system. So we want them to come back. And that's not a conspiracy theory. That's a fact. Look up how much the state gets off of prisons. Like my town that I was born in, Berlin, New Hampshire. If you look, it's the mill closed down. And now there's a federal prison. A club-fed federal prison. And that's how they get their money now. What they do is they take these towns with shut down mills, poor economics, and they stick a prison in it. You think that's an accident? Do you really think that's a mistake? You could even link that to the whole fucking FEMA camp thing and the whole fucking, United States concentration camp theory, which no one talks about anymore. It's more sexual, too. Well, dude, how to go about this without sounding sexist. Us guys, we say pervy things on the internet. We've been known to send dick pics. So we just go about it where it's like, that's what we do. Women can't do that because then they've got 75 guys in an alleyway and it turns out poorly for them. So they can't have that. So I feel like there's more like pent up shit. And in a place like prison where it's all females, that tends to break out if you're in there for 20 plus years. And again, I'm not saying that is fact. I'm just saying that is a theory of mine. That's it. I'm not being sexist or anything like that. I'm just saying that's a theory of mine. Because if a woman came out and was like, I would do the first guy that walked through those doors, it's going to look like Black fucking Friday. Like, no joke. They would storm it like it was the beaches of Normandy. And that bitch, no pun intended, is getting fucked 3 ways to Sunday. They're more sexual too, so yeah, they kind of get that shit in rivalry. Dude, in the UK, it's a fact. I don't doubt it, dude. I think that's everywhere. I think that's in a guy's genes and his primal instinct to be that way. And when it comes to women, they're like, Jesus Christ, if I even show like 2 or 3 of these guys a little bit of interest, I'm going home walking funny for like the next 3 or 4 hours. Guys are more thirsty, but the guys are more outward about it. Look at some of the shit that girls post, dude. Cleavage pics and shit, and they're like, I don't want that shit. No, what they're waiting for is that 250-pound steroid-induced dude with biceps out the hair, with the perfect haircut, and the fucking tank top that's like bulging from their chest. That's the kind of guy they want their attention from. If it's somebody like you, or me, or fucking whomever that's like the bottom of the barrel of the cesspool, the guy that's never been appealing to any female whatsoever, she's going to give 0 fucks about him. Me, you, whatever. It's going to be that guy. Induced with steroids, who probably fucking beat his last 3 girlfriends, probably has 5 kids with, 5 different women. It's one of those things. Again, just a theory. I'm also an asshole. And I've been drinking a wee bit. We've also been talking for 2 hours, which fucking amazes me. I don't think I've talked to anybody this long since my buddy Steve on the phone. And to be talking with you guys and still fucking kicking it and still coming up with shit to talk about and you guys just fucking coming back and us talking about it. Hell, I want a guy with big wallet. Yeah, that too. But how do you prove that? You know what I mean? If I was a female, I would be more careful about who I want to. That, amen, James. Like, that's where I'm at. In UK, we had chicks who liked the junky look. Dude, there's some girls out here in the United States that like the guy that's got 2 teeth in his mouth. Like, here's the thing. Different strokes for different blokes. Like, money makes guys more attractive to women. Yeah, I get that. But the thing is like, when it comes to, like, internet and whatnot, I feel like it's more based off of appearance. Because that's steroid-induced guys been working out at the gym, like, 7 days a week, fucking 6 hours a day, and that's all he does. And she's going to be like, yeah, this works out. He's at a faraway distance while I'm with my husband who's paying for all my bills, who's ugly as shit, with an eye missing, and like half of his nose has been fucking ripped off because he was in a fire 3 years ago. Yeah, no, I get that. You kind of have a cake and eat it too. And women think it's okay. Hey, if you guys are cool with this, I'm going to go out for another cigarette and you guys are coming with, because this conversation is not over. I feel like we have just reached the tip of the iceberg. And it's still early yet. Internet is great, eh? Dude, it depends on what your perspective is. Like, the internet can be a great place or it can be like the worst place ever. It all depends on how you perceive it. Oh, guys, I think I broke the golden rule. I think I already smoked my Lucky, so this is my last cigarette of this pack. I didn't even my Lucky. Snooki and Jersey girls. You know, that's the thing, though, man. We don't get the time to know each other anymore. You want proof of this? Snapchat and Tinder. I rest my case. How do you get to know somebody? Like, that's the thing. How my girl and I started talking, no joke, was Plenty of Fish. And the first message I sent her was, are you as excited for Green Inferno as I am? Boom. Like, right there. And now we're on year 2 of being together. You believe that shit? Like, that's fucking weird to me. Like, just to think, we have females who would ride Stephen Hawking like a rodeo without respect for his intellect. Yeah, that's the problem, man. Like, nobody... We all focus on our differences. We all focus on difference of, like, appearance and, like... Oh, what was this thing on Tinder that we've seen? Oh, let's use Tweeter stuff, even if a live stream of a street. Yeah, in Kansas, most girls don't hardly wear dresses. It's all tight blue jeans and shorts. And they bitch when you get caught looking, right? So, anyway, it's like common interests and shit. You know what I mean? It baffles me. Like, my girl, she's smart, like, and she loves horror movies and shit, but there's that some shit that I just can't put up with. Like, dude, I've been renting movies. I'm 5 for 5 right now in the movies I've picked. One of them was Evil Within, which has been like 15 plus years in the making. Matter of fact, it's got the actor who played Tiny in Devil's Rejects and House of a Thousand Corpses, and he died right after Devil's Rejects was made. And he's in Evil Within. That gives you a time frame of when this movie was put into production, how much work was put into it. And the director didn't even get to see his fucking best of works get made. He died after spending millions of dollars just in the editing alone. And I picked that movie. Meanwhile, my girl's picking movies that was done in somebody's backyard. You know what I mean? I still want to see Evil Within, homie. Dude, James, you have to see it. James, I tell you what. If I ever own that movie, I will send it to you so you can watch it. No fucking lie. I send shit to people all the time when they want to check out a book or whatever. Worst case, it costs me $12 if I never get it back. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want people to see the things that I see, and I want to see the things that they see. You know, that's what my channel was supposed to be about, was open communication without a bias to it. You know? Like, facts are facts, man. We have to fucking make a living. Music artists are trying to make a fucking living. And, yeah, they're selling merchandise. They're selling maybe weird-ass merchandise, like fucking carving kits and whatever. But they're trying to make a living. The fact that they've had to pay for those units, and it's not a made-to-order, like, it shows you how much they're trying to do to open up their market to everybody. You know what I'm saying? It's weird. Type in Showbox on Google. Get all the latest films. There you go. So, James, type in Showbox on Google and you'll get all the latest films. So stream it, dude. I mean, it's worth a watch. It'll fuck with your mind, but it's a good fucking movie. And there's been a couple of movies that I've seen that have been really fucking good to my surprise. So there you go, James. Like, you guys tuning into this isn't just about me. It's about you guys having communications and having a say into. And I don't want this to seem like a typical live stream. I'm not repeating myself just for me. Like, for instance, I miss tape trading day back in Metal Punk. I send tapes to other kids all over the free internet. Dude, that's what I'm saying. Like, I want us to have discussions. And I'm going live right now. And because I'm not using G+, it's straight to YouTube. So when this is done, it's done. And, guys, we've been going 2 hours and 10 minutes. and it's probably getting late for some of y'all. So I say we wrap it up here, and we do this again soon, now that I know how to fucking run this shit. And again, I'm sorry for the bad quality. I'm on a $30 fucking Straight Talk phone. I'm not a baller. I'm still bumping a fucking PS2. I'll show you guys. Hang on. Look at this shit. It's the PS2 Slim. I'm not even sure if you guys can be able to see this. That's what I'm rocking, dude. And here's... Oh, where's the fucking case for it anyway? So just so you guys know, I don't own Evil Within yet. We rent movies. We bought a couple of movies. Dude, like, here's one. Baldur's Gate, Dark Alliance. Like, these are the kind of movies and games that I own. Like, I'm not a big gamer. I'm not one of those people. I mean, shit, I got a flat screen TV, go me. But I don't have cable. You know? Like, I don't live with my mom by any means. It's me and my girl here. We do our thing. And we got it set up, guys. Like, my studio that I was working on kind of got fucked up. We had sugar gliders and shit that was staying us for a while, and then we stopped using that room because sugar gliders stink, and it just kind of like, caved in with some shit. But it's still me, right here, with you guys, live, in my own place. And if you live with your mom, who the fuck cares? You have your own reason for it. I had my own reason for living with my mom. Like, my fucking grandmother was dying of cancer. She went. My fucking family dog was sick. I just had the basics. It suits. Dude, I'm sitting on the fucking basics, but you guys see me. Like, I'm not fucking drinking $700 bottles or anything like that, but I'm still going to shows. I'm still seeing you guys. I'm still buying merchandise for my favorite music artists. I'm still getting ink. Like, I'm not a broke bloke, but I'm not a baller either. I don't understand, like, the whole hate, like, for somebody living with their mom. They have their own reasons for it. Their mother could be sick. Hold on, I want to read that last message. Hope you're doing well too. Same, man. See, this is what I want, guys. For us to have a conversation civilly. Are we going to agree on everything together? Fuck no, we're not. Was the Vegas shooting a fucking conspiracy? Maybe. Was the fucking terrorist attacks on 9/11 a conspiracy? Maybe. We don't know. But what we do know is we're all here talking right now. We're having a civil conversation, guys. With even people, me and James, we've had our issues. And I think that this channel would be a great place for everyone to just kind of like vent and share their piece. And I think we should go live again soon. But for now, guys, we should peace out. This is my Rob Zombie shirt. And hold on a second here. I'll do this just for you guys one more time so you guys can see the back. 1 second. With here, it's not about looks. It's not all about ideology. It's about hanging out, talking, shooting the shit, drinking, and smoking cigs. And with that being said, guys, you have a fun night. My name is Sid Jones. And as always, from the bottom of my heart and the darkest part of my testicles, fuck what you think.